My parents were both born in Vientiane, the capital of Laos. My mom was part of the Hong Sang village, where she was part of the Tai Dum community. My father was part of the Si Home village. My mother and father lived in the same city in Laos, but did not meet until they immigrated to America. My parents immigrated from Laos to America in the late 70s. First, they fled from Laos to Thailand because the new government was taking over in Laos. The new government taking over would recruit men and women for labor. If they refused to join, they were to be killed. Anyone associated with the old government was subject to execution. Unfortunately, both my mother and father were associated with the previous Laos government, so they fled to Thailand to seek refuge. There they lived in refugee camps in extreme poverty. My mom slept in a graveyard at times. Other times she would have to sleep on wooden shelves. My father told me that when he lived in the refugee camps, they would give him 2 fish and some rice a day for food. No breakfast, just lunch and dinner. They lived in an enclosed camp with hundreds of people, surrounded by guards, only allowing access off the camp for purchase of food. They lived in poverty with little food, little resources, and no opportunity for work. Fortunately, in the late 70s, the Iowa Governor Robert D. Ray allowed sponsorship of immigrants from Laos. My mom immigrated to Des Moines, Iowa in 1975 at the age of 12. My father immigrated to Des Moines in 1979 at the age of 19. Fortunately, my mother and father were the youngest in their families, which allowed them to become better assimilated with the culture. My mother had 2 older sisters and 2 older brothers. My father had 7 older sisters and 5 older brothers. Their siblings had a harder time assimilating to the culture because they were older. Some of my parents' siblings were in their 20s when they arrived in America. In America, my parents lived in poverty again, oftentimes sharing a house or apartment with several family members, struggling to find jobs and struggling to have access to normal things like food or transportation. They also struggled with racism, xenophobia, and assimilating to a new culture. My father got kicked out of high school because he was too old. He then attended trade school and found work as a welder. He is now going into his 36th year of welding. My mother was much more fortunate because she came at such a young age. She got to attend middle school and high school in Iowa. She then got her Associates of Arts at Grandview University and then received her bachelor's degree in economics with a minor in computer science at Iowa State. She then got her first full-time job as a clerk at AgriCredit, a local tech company. As a clerk, she was dealing with the business side and the money side of the company. With hard work, she then worked her way up to the IT side of the company, working as a business analyst. After working at AgriCredit for 26 years, she took a leap of faith and applied to Dell, the computer company. She now works as a project analyst at Dell. Her work in the IT industry has allowed her to travel the world and to comfortably support a family of 4 in America. I share this story as a 3rd-generation immigrant as an ode to my parents and my family. They lived in very difficult circumstances their whole life, facing poverty, execution, racism, and more. I look to my family as role models for courage, bravery, and work ethic. A true rags to riches story in my book. To any 3rd-generation immigrants out there, remember to work hard and to be thankful because our parents gave us an opportunity they did not have. To any past, previous, or future immigrants, thank you for your bravery, your hard work, and your determination. It's not always easy being an immigrant in this world. It's not always your choice to move. To any who do not understand immigrants, remember to be accepting and loving because everyone is human and everyone goes through tough times. No one human is better than another, immigrant or non-immigrant, this race or that race, tall or short. We all go through tough times and all have our flaws. We are all human. Please just remember to be loving and accepting. We share this world. Thank you.